Florida Congressman Michael Waltz joins me now. He's a former Green Beret commander who served multiple tours in Afghanistan. Congressman, thank you for joining us. Yeah. China believes the Taliban is the key to a peaceful resolution. I don't see any evidence of that. Do you? I mean, they're still close with al-Qaeda. They're still trying to take over territories by force, thinking they can regain power through force.
Well, that's right. And, I mean, Tony Blinken may be a nice guy, but, he just couldn't be more wrong on so many things. Remember when former Secretary of Defense Bob Gates said Biden's been wrong on every foreign policy issue the last 4 decades? It was Tony Blinken right there at Biden's side all the way back to his days as a Senate staffer, including advising him to oppose the Osama bin Laden raid. And here he is, just flat wrong again. Here's what China's really interested in. They have 1 million Muslim Uyghurs in their western province that actually borders Afghanistan. And the last thing they want is a Taliban spillover to radicalizing and aiding those fellow Muslim Uyghurs. So if they cut a deal with the Taliban and say, look, we'll help you here, you keep going. If you want to take over, fine. Just don't work with and help the Uyghurs in our territory. China's perfectly fine with that. And what they really want, which Jen Griffin mentioned, is access to the nearly $1 trillion of critical minerals, copper, lithium that powers electric cars and batteries, chromite and others that the United States was sitting right on top of, and we have just given away. That's what China's interested in, continuing to dominate those supply chains. And oh, by the way, we had an air base in Bagram Air Base right there in Afghanistan, right on China's border. Now we just gave that away too. So yeah, I'm sure they're quite happy right now, and they'll cut a deal with the Taliban, no problem. Yeah, but yeah, go ahead. You and Jennifer Griffin make very good points there. I just want to say, talk about solutions here, because if you do not believe the Taliban is in any way interested in a peace deal, what's the remedy from your point of view? I mean, if we're not going to be praising China for engaging with the Taliban, what's the step we should be taking? Well, what we should have done was keep a small amount of soldiers there, one, focus on counterterrorism, but two, providing the training, the support, the intelligence, and importantly, the contractors to support the Afghan Air Force. Now that they've taken that option off the table, I think eventually we're going to have to look at some of the resistance, the warlords in the north that, basically we're going to be right back to 2001 again with small groups of special forces. But here's the thing, if China's aligned with the Taliban and al-Qaeda comes roaring back and we have to send our special forces back in, now do we have a Taliban-China alignment and a problem in getting after al-Qaeda? So the Biden administration just keeps making this worse and worse and worse. And when Tony Blinken says it's okay sitting from India, that's the last thing India wants, because aligned with the Taliban's Pakistan, India's mortal enemy.
Yeah, and we should note that al-Qaeda is still threatening war on all fronts. Congressman, thank you for joining us. We very much appreciate your time.
All right. Thanks so much.